Yeah, definitely for me, the change that I want to see is police really need to see how they can affect the community, because also for the new generation, it's kind of scary to see police brutality for African Americans and Latinos, also for ICE and what they are doing with deportation and persecuting families. I think if we are talking about keep the families together, or families belong together, it's important to see policies who are really protecting family rights, especially with Latino communities, that we see parents who really care about their kids, and kids really afraid to leave their parents or be separated for policies who are affecting their life. And they are citizens. We need to protect them, and we need to care as a community what happened with our kids in Montgomery County.
But I guess I'd like to see more, first of all, I don't think that it's fair the way that like our school district, I'm talking from the perspective of a student, I don't think it's fair how school districts are drawn, and we can't really solve this, but for example, the fact that property taxes pay for schools, I think that creates a system where like my school district, the Whitman district, has the wealthy people, and so we have the nice schools and everything, whereas somewhere like Kennedy, they're more or less low-income people, and so their property taxes aren't as high, and so they're not able to pay for as nice facilities, and that is reflected in test scores, that's reflected in AP enrollments, that's reflected in all of these metrics, and that does have a serious effect on later education and later incomes and so on. So I guess, yeah, I don't think that it's fair how districts are drawn, and I don't think that it's fair how property taxes are what determines funding for schools.
I think there's one thing to talk about: what will the government, what the county council can do, what can we change in policing, and I think that's an important part of it. But the other part about it is economic prosperity, and that's something that needs to also come from the private sector and all the federal workforces in the county. So I think we can't just assume that it's going to be a government solution without having buy-in from both citizens and also private sector businesses. So I'm hoping that it's just not a situation where we have activists in government here, but we also need businesses at the table to ensure in their hiring practices. And other things are also striving for equality, because that's the only way the economy of the county can keep growing, if everyone's connected into it, right?